Let me ask you a question. What if the car sitting in your driveway is secretly designed to fail? It's a shocking thought, but let me drop a reality bomb on you. While no car runs forever, some have come unbelievably close. We're talking about 4.6 million kilometers on a single engine. That's enough to travel from Earth to the Moon and back 6 times without a single rebuild. Think that's an exaggeration? A taxi driver in Greece actually did it, proving that some cars were built to outlast governments, economies, and maybe even your entire bloodline. Today, we're exposing 12 diesel legends from an era when engineers built with pride, not profit margins. Stick around to the end, and I'll reveal the 3 brutal reasons why these old beasts are immortal while your modern car is lucky to survive its warranty. Number 1, Isuzu Trooper. Kicking off our list, Isuzu basically declared war on the idea that an SUV had to choose between power, efficiency, and reliability. This turbocharged diesel monster produced 113 horsepower and enough torque to make Toyota Land Cruiser owners second-guess their choices. In the Australian outback, a mining company used a 95 Trooper for 14 years, accumulating over 850,000 kilometers on terrain that barely qualified as roads. It operated in extreme temperatures and carried loads far beyond its recommendations, yet the engine never needed major internal work. Its genius came from Isuzu's commercial truck DNA. It was a truck engine in an SUV's body, with bulletproof indirect injection and a cooling system designed for hell itself. Number 2, Ford Transit. Next up is what you get when engineers focus on brutal honesty instead of beauty contests. The Ford Transit was designed with one goal: to work every single day for decades without any drama. Its naturally aspirated diesel engine delivered its power with the same reliability as gravity. A British Royal Mail Transit purchased in 1982 endured 18 years of stop-and-go city torture, racking up over 680,000 kilometers. The amazing part was its total disregard for maintenance schedules. While modern diesels demand specific fuels and software updates, this engine would chug along on anything flammable until its fuel tank rusted through. Number 3, BMW E34 525. Our third entry is the car that proved diesel and exciting could belong in the same sentence. The 525 TDs was a technological marvel, delivering 143 turbocharged horsepower with BMW's signature smoothness. But this performance didn't come at the cost of reliability. One E34 served as a high-speed Autobahn taxi for 9 years, accumulating an incredible 745,000 kilometers while cruising at speeds that would cause most engines to self-destruct. When it was retired, passengers still couldn't tell it was a diesel. It proved a premium sedan could be fast, efficient, and last for 500,000 kilometers without major surgery. Number 4, Renault 21 Nevada. This spot goes to a car born from a simple question: what if a family wagon could survive a zombie outbreak with enough room for the week's groceries? The Renault 21 Nevada was a masterpiece of Gallic engineering stubbornness. Its engine produced a gentle 64 horsepower and was simple enough to be repaired with baguette crumbs and sheer willpower. One veterinarian in rural France used his 1987 Nevada for 23 years, accumulating 680,000 kilometers without ever needing major engine work. But its true superpower was its complete indifference to fuel quality. During diesel shortages, these engines were known to run on heating oil, used cooking oil, and in desperate times, a cocktail of lamp oil and determination. Number 5, Toyota Land Cruiser 80 Series. Here we have a rolling monument to mechanical immortality. When Toyota engineers designed this Land Cruiser, it seems they completely forgot about budgets. This wasn't just an SUV, it was a war on the very concept of failure. The most legendary story: during humanitarian work in Sudan, a Land Cruiser was completely submerged in a flash flood for 72 hours. After being pulled from the mud, the team drained the water, changed the fluids, and turned the key. It fired up on the 3rd try and went on to serve for another 200,000 kilometers. That's not just reliability, that's a miracle. At number 6, the VW Transporter T3 was Germany's love letter to small businesses. This was more than a van. It was a mobile statement of German practicality and immortality. Its diesel produced 70 horsepower with the mechanical predictability of atomic decay, virtually unstoppable. In the Netherlands, a flour company used a single T3 van for 21 years, making daily runs that accumulated over 920,000 kilometers while hauling heavy loads. When it was finally sold to a collector, its original engine had never been opened. The philosophy was simple: make it strong, simple, and fixable. We're only halfway through. If you're amazed by these feats of engineering, hit that subscribe button because there are 6 more immortal legends to come. Number 7, Nissan Patrol Y60. When the engineers at Nissan created the Y60 Patrol, the meeting must have gone something like this. Let's build an SUV that can drive through the apocalypse and still have working AC. The result was this cast iron monster. It was powered by what was essentially a commercial truck engine that wandered into a passenger vehicle and decided to live there forever. Its horsepower was modest, but it delivered that power without complaint for over 500,000 kilometers, often maintained with nothing more than desert sand and wishful thinking. In Saudi Arabia, one Y60 served as a desert rescue vehicle, racking up 900,000 kilometers across the empty quarter, one of the most hostile deserts on Earth. Number 8. Mercedes-Benz W124 300D. This entry represents the terrifying peak of German diesel engineering. When Mercedes designed the W124, they set out to build the most indestructible sedan ever conceived. The ultimate proof is Grigorios Sakinidis, a Greek taxi driver who drove his W124 for over 4.6 million kilometers. That's not a typo. When Mercedes inspected the engine, it was still running within factory specs after a distance that defies comprehension. Mercedes was so impressed, they bought the car for their museum and gave him a brand new C-Class in return. Number 9. Peugeot 504. At number 9, we find a car that wasn't just built tough, it was engineered for places where the nearest mechanic is 500 kilometers away. This diesel legend thrived in civil wars. Its engine was a masterpiece of agricultural simplicity, producing just 65 horsepower and absolutely refusing to fail. In parts of West Africa, these cars are still running as taxis today, with many showing over 800,000 kilometers on their original drivetrains. They run on homemade fuel concoctions that would instantly kill a modern engine, serving as a testament to French engineering stubbornness. Number 10. Volkswagen Golf. The Golf Mark II was Volkswagen's definitive statement that a small car didn't have to be a fragile one. While other companies were building small diesels that sounded like a bag of wrenches, VW was perfecting a recipe for immortality. Its naturally aspirated diesel engine produced a humble 70 horsepower, but what it lacked in raw speed, it more than made up for in a mechanical stubbornness that would bring a tear to any German engineer's eye. There's a documented case of a German taxi driver who put his 1985 Golf through 22 years of daily city service, retiring it with 750,000 kilometers on the clock. Number 11. Mitsubishi Pajero. When Mitsubishi designed this Pajero, they essentially said, "Hold my sake and watch this." This wasn't just another diesel, it was a declaration that reliability and performance could coexist. A 1993 Pajero served as a support vehicle for rally teams on the Paris-Dakar route for 7 straight years, clocking over 300,000 kilometers across the Sahara. It survived conditions that would destroy military-grade vehicles, and mechanics claimed it only got more reliable with every desert mile. This was thanks to Mitsubishi's obsessive engineering, featuring forged internals and a cooling system that seemed designed for the surface of Venus. And finally, at number 12, we have what is arguably the most reliable machine ever created by humanity. This isn't just the most reliable diesel car ever built, it's the undisputed king of immortality. Its inline-5 diesel was so ridiculously over-engineered that Mercedes had to invent new tests just to find its breaking point. Multiple W123 taxis in Morocco and Lebanon have been documented with over 1 million kilometers on their original engines, operating in extreme heat with questionable fuel. A lead engineer once said, "We aren't building cars for today's buyers, we're building them for their grandchildren." With the W123, they succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. So there you have it, 12 mechanical monuments from a time when automotive immortality was standard equipment. But why? Why did they last forever? Here are the 3 brutal truths the car industry will never tell you. Reason number 1, cast iron construction. In the 80s, BMW engineers would literally drop their cast iron engine blocks from 10 feet onto concrete. If a single hairline crack appeared, the design was rejected. Today's brutal reality? Modern engines use lightweight aluminum that develops micro-fractures after 80,000 miles. Why? Because a $15,000 engine replacement every 5 to 7 years is far more profitable than building it right the first time. Reason number 2, mechanical fuel injection. The Land Cruiser's fuel system was so simple an engineer could draw it on a napkin. No computers, no sensors. A mechanic in a remote village could fix it with basic tools. Today's nightmare? Your modern SUV has dozens of sensors, each programmed to fail. When one does, your $60,000 vehicle becomes a paperweight until you pay thousands for a diagnostic. It's not engineering, it's legalized extortion. Reason number 3, pride versus profit. In 1975, Mercedes spent millions testing a single W123 engine. The chief engineer said, "Every warranty claim is proof we failed our customers' trust." They fired engineers for premature failures. Today's brutal reality? A leaked memo revealed that the same company now deliberately engineers parts to fail shortly after the warranty expires. They call it optimal replacement cycles. We call it a scam. The bottom line is this: old cars were built by craftsmen who took failure personally. New cars are designed by accountants who see your breakdown as a profit target. Which of these legends did you or your family own? Drop your high mileage stories in the comments below, and if this video opened your eyes, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Let's build a community that remembers when cars were built to last forever. Thanks for watching.